Hi everyone, so yeah, I'm Jo Franzen and I was honoured enough to not only be nominated for but ultimately awarded the Emerging Leader of the Year award last year at the Waikato Business Awards. Now, I understand that my nomination was a little bit different to a lot that I've received for this award, so I wanted to share my journey with you all today, and in the hopes ultimately of inspiring you to think a little bit differently about these awards. Funnily enough, listening to a lot of the speeches so far, there's a very similar theme coming through, which is really cool to hear. Not only to think differently about these awards, but ultimately look to the benefit that they can bring not only to your business, but to your leadership by doing so. So, how was my nomination different? Well, although you can self-nominate for these awards, my nomination was actually completed and submitted by a near-dear colleague of mine, Jeffrey Brown. So he did share the award with me prior to submitting, so it wasn't a complete surprise when I was announced as a finalist, although the finalist announcement took me a little bit by surprise. But I'll never forget, when he shared that with me prior to submitting, reading that award is actually one of the most memorable moments I've had in my career to date. It was so humbling to read the comments from my colleagues, but at the same time, there was actually a bit of an air of regret for me. In that moment, I realised the impact that I have can have as a leader, but ultimately I've been inhibiting myself and limiting the impact that I can have by not showcasing that. Research shows that there's a gender gap. Men are far more likely to self-promote than women. And ultimately, that's exactly what was happening with me as well. If it wasn't for Jeffrey, then no one would have heard about my leadership outside of Aware Group and my colleagues who are here tonight that actually get to see me in action on a daily basis. So this is further compounded by tall poppy syndrome. And I think both of these themes are what's come through a little bit so far in people's speeches tonight, is that hesitation to self-promote, that hesitation to actually recognise the awesome stuff that Waikato businesses have to bring to the table. As a country, small poppy syndrome holds us back from actually realising our impact to the world. And I think in the Waikato, this is obviously amplified as well. What that does mean is we tend to self-deprecate, but it also means that we really don't showcase the innovative, amazing businesses that we have in Hamilton and in New Zealand. So award ceremonies like this are an absolutely prime opportunity to do that. There are lots of national awards, lots of international awards even, and over the past 12 months there's a lot of Waikato businesses, including Hamilton City Council, who've actually won international business awards. It's really awesome to see. So ultimately for me, the key learning that I took from this process, and I'm so grateful to Jeffrey and the judges, although I haven't seen any of my particular judges in here today, or many should I say, make sure that you're putting yourself forward. Thank you so much to Jeffrey and the judges for helping me to learn this lesson, that self-promotion actually is a really important part of business. The comments from my colleagues in my nomination helped me to recognise that I am a strong leader, that I do have real impact on the humans that I encounter in my life. Since receiving this award, that recognition has opened doors for me in my career. To me, successful leadership is about growing other leaders. And by having the conversations that have come out of this award, I've had the opportunity to actually have really sound conversations about leadership and about what the future of leadership looks like. Through this award, other people have started approaching me more. This is including in my own business. So not just across organisations across the Waikato and across New Zealand, where I've got to showcase Aware Group and raise our brand profile, which ultimately helps the business to be a bit more successful. But also within our organisation, I've had a few more of our leaders coming to me asking for support, asking for advice, and actually listening to and being more open to working together to see how we can best support our future leaders and grow our business into the future. So, what are my key takeaways from the story? Recognise and challenge yourself where you're underselling yourself. You may be limiting both your own success and your business success by doing so. We do face this challenge of tall poppy syndrome nationally, so to help break down that challenge a little bit further, I really encourage you to cast your eyes across your business and other businesses See if there's any emerging leaders, or if your amazing CEO is worthy to put forward for that award. Nominating them could be just what it takes to push their career to the next step. Ultimately, it's going to improve the impact they have to your business and your business success. And lastly, the same goes for business categories. If you are finding that you're underselling your own business, make sure you're putting yourself forward. If you're seeing other businesses that you're inspired by across Waikato, put them forward, nominate them. There's a nomination button. They will absolutely love it. And honestly, just that conversation in itself could have more impact than you think. I'm all about sharing my journey, of both my experience with the Waikato Business Awards, but also of Aware Group. I've got a few colleagues here today who are more than keen for a chat. So if you've got any questions about my journey, about my experience with the awards, definitely please feel free to come up to me and have a chat. Or if it's beyond today, look me up on LinkedIn. E tu tangata, stand together, recognise yourself, recognise your business, and recognise your people.